Beloved Creator of all that is, all beings of light and love, we are assembled and to task increasingly as the pace to change and to transition quickens. We can all feel it, a certain tension. It's in the air. We are not afraid, but ready for whatever comes, for we know that we are on track, that we are clear in our mission from your divine directive for the good of all. We are in deep gratitude for the hard work and the great risks countless others have taken to bring us to this point of near liberation from the cabal, our oppressors. We call you in at any point of our days, in all of our days, to be reminded and to express gratitude that we were born for this, that this is why we are here now, doing what we are doing for the win and rescue of humanity. What a joy and a gift to be alive in this magical time of transition and transformation into a higher expression of who we are. Let it be so, and so it is.
Thank you, Charlie.
My pleasure.
My name is Ron Vroman. I'm the old white man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. I want to talk about pragmatic people or persons and what it means. And I use this dictionary, the Living Webster Encyclopedic Dictionary of the English Language, this one, 1979. I've had this dictionary, and boy, I had it in Venezuela and still have it with me. And that's been since 79. I have two other books that I've kept with me. Ray, you'll get this one. The Blue Jackets Manual, How to Be a Sailor. I got this in 1956. And this one I got from my Aunt Eleanor. She had become a nuss instead of a Vroman, and her kids were be nusses and not Vromans, so she gave it to me. Interesting book for a very limited number of people, published in 1948. So this is what I want to talk about. Pragmatic people dealing with a de facto governance when we're dealing with unlawful, illegal, and illegitimate, and they know it, and they perpetuate it. And I think they are almost entirely backed by and part of the Bar Association, the British Accreditation Registry in some form that's been going since like 1215 or so. So those pragmatic people that are in the bar profession, they know what they're doing. They know it's illegal and illegitimate, but they have their bar card and they're going to do the best they can with the situation they have. And the ones that call themselves constitutionalists aren't. I've gone up against several of them. And I'm just an old man on Oregon, not educated for this task that I'm in, but I'm in it both feet all the way with some wonderful people, and we're kicking ass. And the deal is, we're doing it lawfully. And the other side is doing it illegally and illegitimately. And they have to defend that position, which is indefendable once we are no longer deceived. So if we're not deceived, and we're not, maybe a little bit, we found out a lot. We don't know it all for sure, but we know a bunch. And the bunch we knows makes them totally invalid. But we're dealing with perception. That's where this guy comes in. The light, my eyes, and glasses come together right here. Pragmatic, Latin from pragmatism or discuss, and Greek, active, businesslike, versed in state affairs, treating historical phenomena with special reference to their causes, antecedents, conditions, and results, or pertaining to the philosophy of pragmatism, concerned with practical consequences or values, pertaining to the affairs of state or community, busy, active, officiously busy, meddlesome, dogmatic, a pragmatic sanction, a busybody, a conceited person. Okay, so now it goes through all kinds of stuff. Then it comes over to pragmatism, and this is where we find a lot of people. A concern for and emphasis on practical matters, a non speculative system of philosophy which regards the practical consequences and the useful results of ideas as the test to their truthfulness, and which considers truth itself to be a process, officiousness, and dogmatism. So they think they can modify truth, and they do. It's called a lie. So then we come over to this other one here. Okay. You're not supposed to do this. Have a whole lot of dead air. Here it is. Prostitute. Placed before, exposed publicly, prostitute. A woman giving to sexual intercourse for gain or hire. A harlot. Any person who puts their abilities to a base or unworthy use for money or other gain. Prostitute. An offer as oneself for sexual intercourse for gain, to surrender to any unworthy purpose for gain. to put oneself or one's talents to any base or untrustworthy use. Prostitute, pragmatist, prostitute. Got to be careful with words, you really do. This one, I just love this one. Now, those words, prostitute and pragmatist, those were Greek and Latin root. This one is different. This is whore, W-H-O-R-E. And it comes from a base from Iceland, Danish, German, comes from a whole different root system. And whore, from that root system, the first root of it, the first definition that it gives is dear, D-E-A-R. Then it has a semicolon and it says Sanskrit. Oh shit, they're really going back on this one. In Sanskrit, it means love. So the W intrudes upon the word, and it has been also given to prostitute or a promiscuous woman or having sexual intercourse with the prostitute, to associate with whores, to be a whore. But it says absolutely nothing about for gain or profit. Interesting. So, what we're dealing with are people that sold out a whole long time ago. They have no truth or honor in the game. They don't care. That's who they want to be. So what we have to do is convince our people. And this is the part where Schaefer Cox was really good at it a long time ago in Alaska. I understand he's out of jail now. He converted the whole town to common law. They dealt with it themselves. There was no need for the de facto law system down at their court. He did away with it. And they joined him, the whole town. And in Alaska, a town is a very large area. They don't have counties. I digress. Sorry about that. What we have to do, doing the best we can, is to convert those people that are in the de facto right up to their neck. They've prostituted their integrity by being pragmatic. And they're willing to do that for themselves. But they can't do it for us. And that's what they're doing. And that has to stop. As an example, Bill Burgess, Marion County Recorder. He's a de facto employee of a bent, illegal, illegitimate system that he didn't invent, but that he is stuck in. But he doesn't have to be stuck in it. He can take a lawful oath do the proper thing and fulfill his constitutional obligations and correct the situation. I'm pretty sure Bill understands exactly where he is. He's pragmatic. It's de facto, and he knows it. But the option is he does not have to be a prostitute. He doesn't have to be illegal or illegitimate. He does not have to do that. All he has to do is take a lawful oath to the lawful constitutions and uphold his honor. That's all there is to it. You got to do it yourself. Nobody can do it for you, and we cannot do it alone. That's just the way it is. People say, how do we enforce it? We enforce it one step at a time with men like Bill standing up and taking their proper oath, understanding the consequences. They do not have to be that. They can step across the line, expatriate to being a man or a woman, and then take an oath to a proper constitution, to a proper government, and do their proper job and quit doing the de facto's calling. Just stop. And the same holds true for the sheriffs. Now, I saw this morning a picture by Brandon of our 3-page document posted on the public bulletin board in Marion County since I think it was the 9th of November. That number jumps into my head, and I don't have a calendar. Could have been. We have the number. I'm sure of it. At the end of 30 days, that stands as fact that the sheriff of Marion County does not have a proper oath and proper bond, has no honor, and cannot hold a position of trust. Posted on their Marion County courthouse bulletin board. Exactly proper. So now what is the Marion County Sheriff going to do? There's the public notice. You're lying. You have no oath. How do you maintain that position? How do you stand and say, I'm the sheriff, and have any respect for yourself or anybody else when right on the bulletin board in your courthouse it says, you have no oath, you have no bond, you have no honor? That's going to be a tough position to maintain for that sheriff. We got 35 more to go. I think it would be beneficial to do a large number in a month instead of onesies. It's really hard. That would take 3 years to do. No, can't wait that long. Got to do many at one time. So here on Oregon, that's where we are. We have brought the incorporated governance of the state of Oregon, aka all caps state of Oregon, Salem oligarchy, to an end. We did that November 2022. Now we have to finish the job, obtain lawful oaths from those people elected in our constitutional Republican form of government to do a specific job, starting with the sheriff. We are the provisional government. We have to get this done so that we can say to the other 32 states, territories, and commonwealths, 17 territories, this is how you do it, and you need to get the job done. We wasted an entire year last year on moving our goal closer to fruition. Where we were when November 2022 came and where we are now, December 2023, 13 months, is the same on Oregon. We have not moved any further. We can't move further on Oregon until the Jural assemblies in the other 32 states get enough states done that we have a quorum so that we can meet in Congress assembled and do the work lawfully and legitimately. Now, I saw a piece recently that somebody put out that said the Supreme Court of the United States, SCOTUS, which is a court that has jurisdiction in Washington District of Columbia, that 10-mile square, forts, ports, and needful buildings that they have constitutionally acquired. That court, SCOTUS, which is different from Article 3. And SCOTUS said that the people, I forget exactly how they said it, the people are authorized to make their own Article 3 court. Well, duh. Then I read that the state courts were very confused because many of them know they have no jurisdiction. And when anybody challenges them, they fold because they have no authority. And that comes from Article 3. When you read Article 3 all the way through, I should probably get a copy and read it. It says something to the effect that the Article 3 court should be held in the county nearest to where the incident actually happened. Now, that's in the Constitution of the United States of America, circa 1859, which is the last lawful iteration of our Constitution. In that one, it says Article 3 court. It also says Amendment 7 court. Now, when it comes to Amendment 7 court, that's to amend Article 3. So Article 3 has to be taken with Amendment 7. So then Article 3 is the one Supreme Court with a small o and a small s and a capital C, different from SCOTUS, which is only in Washington District of Columbia, whereas Article 3 is on the county of the state nearest to where it happened. And it has to be Amendment 7. And if it's over $20, it has to be a jury court. And we've got one on Oregon. For some reason, we're out in front on the bloody leading edge of this thing with the only Article 3, Amendment 7 civilian court of record that has done the job. And we need at least 20 other of the 32 states to get the job done so that we can have a quorum, so we can do this lawfully and legitimately as the United States of America in a confederation and perpetual union which is required. So one of the 20 states has to be South Carolina. All that has to be done. It should have been done in the last 13 months, but it's really tough to stimulate people to move. That's on the bell curve again. Should I tell you the bell curve? One of the main parts of it is 62.5% of us will not challenge, will not say truth to the de facto. Yes, sir, here's my driver's license, proof of insurance, and registration card. Yes, thank you very much. I'll do my best, and okay, and am I on my way? Am I free to go? When they have done nothing wrong, but they're pragmatic prostitutes. They sell out, and they shouldn't, but they're pragmatic. And like my next door neighbor, I explained the whole thing to him crystal clear, 20 minutes on the front yard. And he says, how long's this been going on? 112 years. He says, I don't want any part of it, and turned around and walked away, and known the guy 20 years. My next door neighbor. They won't get involved. They won't say truth to the de facto. That's 3% of us. And it has to be a legitimate 3%. It can't be Pinos, patriots in name only, like rhinos, Republican in name only, Pino. Because Republicans are just as big a prostitutes pragmatically operating as the Democrats are. How fun and very unprofessional. That was Richard, our former fugitive. There's a real win. Yep. In any case, I need to get these little pieces out so that we can tip over the de facto and come away with a constitutional Republican form of government. One of the things that's going on that I think can be stopped is this whole patriot movement industry, such as National Liberty Alliance, the Republic of Texas, TRO, Anna von Reitz, and multiple others that are teaching people how to fight the de facto system one at a time and not win, but come away with the stalemate where the de facto chooses not to bother you for a while. And however long they're not bothering you over that incident is however long the Band-Aid of the paperwork that was put into their court holds up. And frequently, they don't tell you that it failed and your paperwork did not do the job, and they write up a warrant for the arrest of the person that had the paperwork written for them because they consider one of the people that is dealing with their court to be a person. And no matter how much you say I'm not the all cap version of my name and etc., as long as you are submitting paper into their court, into their system, you are. We, the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly, with our Article 3, Amendment 7, Civilian Court of Record, use a claim of cognizance, and there's 3 different kinds. It's not one size fits all. But for our Oregonians, men and women, who are not persons, for those people, a claim of cognizance takes them out of the picture because the problem is between 2 courts. Our Article 3, Amendment 7, Civilian Court of Record has jurisdiction over the man, the woman, and their children that are self-declared and witnessed by 2 others, not in their jurisdiction. They're in our jurisdiction. And it's a court-to-court problem. Stay the hell out of their court. You have a court. We have earned it. We've done all the work. It's legitimate. And it's here on Oregon. And it's the only Article 3, Amendment 7 court of record. If it's over $20, judges are not involved. That's it. The court is. I yield.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. Then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, just shoot me then. This is what you want, just shoot me. And they did. They shot him dead. With his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, shot him 3 more times.